Good evening, Lions fans, and welcome to True Love's Pizza and Grits Thursday Night Preview, presented by CPWS TNTV. An hour-long discussion of Columbia Lions football from True Love's Pizza and Grits on Riverside Drive. Now, here are your hosts, Dan James and Eddie Bobo.
Thank you, Bill Jones. Welcome to another installment of Thursday Night Preview prior to tomorrow night's matchup between the Lincoln County Falcons and the Columbia Lions. Also, every third day of the month is United Way month at True Love's Pizza and Grits. So a portion of their proceeds go to United Way.
Yeah, every Thursday this month.
Right. So we want to make sure that everybody knows that and get the word out. It's a good thing.
That is, yeah.
Coach, this past Friday ball game, we started out on a high note with the interception that run back for a touchdown of over 60 yards, and then it just kind of seemed like we just couldn't get it going.
Yeah, we struggled a little bit offensively, getting the ball moving a little bit here and there. Defense came out, obviously with the interception by Carrizales and returning for a touchdown. It was a great way to start on defense, and then more excited about after we took the field again on defense, we forced a 3-and-out and got the ball back.
Right.
I was probably just as excited about the 3-and-out after the pick six as I was for that. So it was a great first quarter defensively for us. We just struggled moving the ball on offense, and we got inside the red zone a couple times in the second half and wasn't able to get any points on the board, and that hurt us there. So,
well, I mean, we're still learning.
Yeah, we are. I haven't counted up all the players that have started yet this year or got significant playing time, but it's a lot more than what we anticipated at the beginning of the year.
But if you look at our players, you've got a lot that have been injured, a lot that have not come back, and a whole lot of new ones that are in there.
Yeah, we do. Like I said, we battled some injuries early on, and they've been significant injuries, obviously, too. It hasn't been just a week here or there. They've been out several weeks, if not, season-ending injuries. And, a lot of kids have had to step up and learn some new roles. And, we're like you said, we're continuing to learn. And hopefully after this week's practice, we can put together a good game tomorrow night.
Now, my understanding is you have had a fantastic week of practice.
Well, I wouldn't say fantastic. I mean, haven't had a fantastic week, but we haven't had a bad week.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between, and I guess with it being fall break this week, and not having school to begin with, everything's kind of already thrown off.
But you try to keep everything in perspective and keep everything on a normal time schedule.
Right. Even our practice time has been normal as it is, on any other normal week. Everything we've done this week has been the same thing. The same time we lift, the same time we watch film. Practice times have been the same. Try to keep as much normal routine as possible.
Right.
So,
yeah, we're looking forward to getting that first initial victory.
I am too.
It seems like sometimes we get close and then just kind of fade away, but we're going to put it together one day.
It's not the way any of us wanted this season to go to begin with, but we tell these kids that in life, you're going to come across situations. There are going to be time periods in your own individual lives one day that things aren't going to go well.
Right.
And it might not just be this 1 week that doesn't go well. It might be for a long period of time that doesn't go well.
And it's how you deal with that.
And then you got to deal with it. And you just got to never give up and keep pushing forward. And eventually good things are going to happen.
Speaking of the injured players, is there any chance we're going to get any of them back? This game?
We do get one of them back, which will be good. Austin Woodson, one of our wide receivers, he'll be making his return this week, coming from off of a fractured foot.
Okay.
He was out 4 or 5 weeks. He got hurt in the Laverne game, along with T.J. Bailey. So we lost both those guys that game. But Austin will make his return this week, so we're excited about that. He brings a different dynamic to the offense. Another speed guy. He got good hands, and looking to get him the ball some tomorrow night too.
Good.
Yeah.
Any given Friday night, any team can win.
You're right about that.
That's true.
That's the only thing we can do is go out and play the best we can, play with great effort, hustle to the ball on defense, execute on offense, and if we do those things to the best of our ability, then we're going to have plays go our way. We're going to have plays go the way of the other team, and we're just going to, at the end of the day, hopefully we had more big plays than
they do.
Yep.
And the score is at least 1 point more on our side.
Just one more. That's all we need.
That's all it takes.
The two upsides in Franklin County and Lincoln County. We did not have to go there.
Yeah, that's true. That would have been a very long ride.
Because I remember the 2 years we did Franklin County back to back.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, what?
I know. And I think the deal with that is once they redid the schedule, we end up having to go there. I know a lot of times when they do, like after this season, when they redo the districts, the whole classification with the TWS is going to change. Once they say, all right, Columbia, this is going to be your district, these are going to be your teams you play against, and a lot of the times it's, all right, you got to play this team this week, and they might go ahead and delegate which one's home and away. So when we get this, we might be hosting them again next year. You never know.
But it looks to me like when they're dividing the district up, there's no parity because with us playing the Williamson County schools and the Rutherford County schools, they're much bigger than we are.
I know. So I'd imagine it's gonna change quite a bit. I imagine we'll keep a few of them that we still have been traditionally playing districts with. But I imagine some of those other teams that were in our district the last few years, we might not have them in there anymore. But I won't know until that's released, though.
Right.
So we're going to play whoever they put us in there with, though.
At what point in time will they start redoing these districts?
Well, they're in the process right now of getting it all fixed. I've heard that either sometime this month or early next month we'll know something for sure. So
Yep.
Now, how early do you start working on next year's schedule?
Well, I guess it's probably as soon as they come out and say, these are your districts. That day I'll work on it because you
don't know who you have until then.
I might have 5 district games. I might have 8 district games, and those you don't have any control of. It's the non-district games that are the hard ones to get. You want to play somebody that's competitive, that's somewhat close to home. You don't want to travel, 2 hours away just to get a game in.
Yeah, you don't want to drive to Memphis to play somebody.
No.
Right. So as soon as we find out, we'll be hard at it and trying to get locks and teams in. Of course, a lot of that depends on who's in our district. I know a lot of talk of us playing Spring Hill again. Well, Spring Hill may be in our district next year, depending on their enrollment.
Because their enrollment is growing.
Right. So, I mean, that might be one of the ones that I don't have to worry about getting a non-district game because they might be a district game. So a lot of it will just depend on who they say we got to play.
Yeah, and if you saw the paper this morning, they're going to expand General Motors facility up there.
I did see that.
And going to be adding 700, almost 800 new jobs. So, that could possibly even grow their population even further.
It could grow ours too.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of General Motor workers, they live all over the county.
Oh yeah.
So ours
and
could
real estate in this area is becoming hard to find.
Right.
Yeah, I can't afford it anyway.
I can't afford the house I'm in now.
Well, you're going to be in big trouble.
Mine's paid for, and I still can't afford it.
Well, you're in a good shape, man.
Now, these young men hurt after a loss like Friday night.
Yep.
Not only physically, but they also hurt emotionally. What do you guys do as coaches when you bring them all together on the field and you're talking? I mean, I know you guys talked afterwards in the locker room too.
We did.
So, what do you tell them? Give us a little insight as to where you're going with your conversation.
Last Friday, I just felt the need that we needed to go to the locker room. There's certain things that just need to be said in private, and almost just need to stay there. But just had to reinforce kids that what we do Monday through last week we had a great week of practice, and I told them, I said, guys, we look great Monday through Thursday, and I don't know what happened Friday. So to earn a win takes 5 days, Monday through Friday. You can't let up on Friday just because we had a good week of practice. There were some bright spots this week that we definitely did better on than we did last week. So hopefully that'll carry over into tomorrow night. All I ask guys for is 48 minutes. Just give us 48 minutes, everything you got. And when you go home at night, look in the mirror and say, hey, did I leave everything on the field tonight? And if you can go home and ask yourself that question and say, yes, I did, then that's all I can ask as a coach.
Very good.
So that's where we're trying to drive home to these players that put your heart and soul into it because you can't get these times back.
On your Sunday, when you have the coaches meeting and you all get together and watch the film from the previous week and possibly the film for the upcoming week, do you guys have a gut check at that point as to what we can do different, as to what we can do better?
Yeah, we usually have
as to
those
what did or didn't work.
Yeah, we have that conversation about every Sunday. Saturdays, coaches will watch film on their own, which, with the new huddle now, it's been around for the past 10 years or so, but it makes it really easy to watch film whenever you want to. But we usually all watch our film on Saturdays. When we come in on Sundays, we've already kind of broke down the film from the previous week. We've already all looked at individually the upcoming week, but every week we sit down and we discuss the defense game plan, offensive game plan, special teams, personnel adjustments. We go over all those things and, what we did bad the week before, what we need to improve on.
Yeah, I'm going to tell my age here, Dan. I remember the reels of tape of film that you would actually put through the projector and put it on the wall and you watch it and forward it, back it up, forward, back it up. It was always funny to watch the linemen and everybody move backwards, but
And also, which makes it so much better now, the online program, because coaches, they'd have to drive on the weekends to exchange film.
Right.
I remember Vance saying I got to run down to exit 22 or whatever it was on I-65 to exchange film with Lincoln County.
That's a lot of work that a lot of people don't realize that coaches do a lot that. Besides just coaching the game of football. But thank goodness we don't have to exchange film that way anymore. We can just
huddle it up,
get online, make a few clicks, and hit send, and it's done. So, and you got to get it instantly. So.
Well, the coach would always put in a request for a particular game at the team that he's going to play. Request a particular game film from them. You may not always get it either, It just depends on the other coach.
Yeah. And I remember a couple of instances where you had to get that DVD from another coach who may have played that team earlier in the season.
That still happens.
So what you're saying is not everybody's on huddle.
Everybody that we play is still on huddle. But what I mean, though, it's actually within our district bylaws that we have that we exchange the two previous games that we played. So in other words, Lincoln County got our last two football games we played. We got their last two football games. Now the thing with huddle, the way it works, though, if Lawrence County played Lincoln County earlier in the year and we got Lawrence County's film that played Lincoln, well then we got an extra film on Lincoln. So really by the end of the day, teams are getting multiple films on you. They're really getting more than two. And, it's just how it works. And, the way I see it, everybody can have our film. It is what it is. We're going to go out and do what we do.
You have nothing to hide, right?
Yeah, nothing to hide, yeah. I mean, we're going to do the best we can do on offense, defense, special teams. And
that's all you can do.
That's all we're going to be able to do anyway.
Right,
so.
Right.
All right, now here's a loaded question for you.
All right.
Well, you can answer this. Difference between a defensive coordinator and head coach.
Oh, wow.
A lot more pressure being head coach.
Well, I'm allowed to go out and get a personal foul if I need to.
Am I allowed to get one?
kind of like on Friday night, this past Friday night.
That's right. I was away to get one that time. That's one thing that I always.
Yeah, I looked at Dan and I said, Coach must have said something.
Well, I always respect the officials. I know they have a tough job. I know their job is not easy and they're hard to come by. But I definitely know as a head coach, it's my job to defend my players at all costs. And, sometimes I do it just to let my players know that, hey, I got your back.
Right.
I got your back. I'm going to fight for your cause. And, I got one the other night. I didn't agree with his call. And after I watched it on film, he was correct. He was correct about it. But from my angle, he wasn't correct. So I was voicing my opinion. But
at least you admit that he was right.
Yeah, he was right. So, he wasn't right the entire night, but he was right for that one call I was complaining about. But that's part of the game. That was one of the big changes from when I was defense coordinator. I knew I couldn't do that because I'd hear it from the head man. Right. But it's a different outlook. both jobs are extremely challenging. I know being an offensive defense coordinator at this level is an extremely tough job. With the film watching, the preparation, the practice scripts. Hats off to Coach Davis and Coach T for the job they put in. It's a lot of work. I mean, it's another full-time job. Adding up the hours last year, it's a 40-hour work week at school, and it's a 40-plus work week football on top of it. So I know these coaches are putting 80 to 90 hours worth of work in every week. It's definitely a tough job, but I know they enjoy it.
How do you guys, at the end of the season, how do you guys wind down from all that? Because you've got to have a little bit of, for lack of a better term, detox of football.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it's tough when the season's over. It's nice to relax a little bit. Of course, there will be no relaxing this year because we're going to be changing facilities with the construction going on. So we're going to be right back at it. And I know come January we'll have a good off-season workout program that'll be in place. And a lot of times, we just like to kind of just do some fun stuff with the players and just build some bonding. In the years past, we've got out there and played some pickup basketball games with them. Just to compete with them and keep that competitive nature going. And
there you go.
Just do some other stuff besides football at times, because I know that the kids need time to wind down too.
I do think we plan to have a little cookout for you guys after the season's over with.
Sounds good.
With a little bonfire in the backyard and that kind of thing.
Sounds good to me.
So I think that's something that we all need.
Right.
Because Eddie and I, some of the guys, football coaches we don't know, and we'd like to get to know a little bit better.
Yeah.
And that way you guys can come over and we can
sounds like a plan.
Do our thing on open fire.
That sounds good.
I had a tree cut down in the backyard of my old house that we had to take down.
Yeah.
And I told the guy, I said, make me about 6 logs big enough that you can use them to sit on.
There you go.
And he did. So I may have to get some football players over and lift those things up and take them over to my house and put them around the campfire.
That'll be good.
Yeah, that's what Eddie and I are planning on doing after the season's over with.
Sounds good.
So anyway, poise of these guys on the sidelines. For every game that I've seen so far, their poise stays the same. They don't get upset. They just continue to play Central Highline football.
Yeah. I mean, they play tough. And the ball hadn't necessarily rolled our way the entire year. We haven't got all the calls. We haven't got all the breaks that we wanted to get.
Right.
Hopefully we'll get some of those breaks tomorrow night. Like to see our sideline more involved in the game. It's hard when you're not in the game. To be focused, but that's something we talked about after the game last week. He said, guys, I need you on the sideline. Give me run calls, pass calls, and run.
But they're watching the game.
Right.
I mean, they are studying. It seems to me they're studying the game. They're not loafing off. They're not doing anything that would be, because Eddie and I have seen that over the years.
Right.
But this particular set of young men don't do that. But they are watching and intense on the game.
Right. I mean, hopefully they'll learn along the way, and when their number's called, they'll get in there and do the best they can, and make the most of it.
Right.
So.
And won't say, did you call me, Coach?
I know. Well, and watching a game from the sidelines or coaching a game or being on the sideline, it's completely different than when you're in the crowd.
Right.
You never know when somebody's going to go down and you're the next man up, and when you turn, you're like, I need you. Like, as a coach, we expect that person to be right there in our hip pocket, and a lot of times they're not, and you're yelling up and down the sideline trying to find certain players. It definitely gets pretty intense on during a game on Fridays on the sideline. It's different than probably what people realize.
That's true.
It can get pretty hectic down there.
Just remember, never throw the headsets.
I know, I did the other night too.
It might have been warranted.
There was about a 2-minute span that I was really upset.
Things happen. It's in the heat of the battle.
It is. It is.
And like you say, Dan could watch a play, I could watch the same play, you could see the play, and the official could see a play, and we all could have a different view of what actually happened.
That's right.
And
I need to remember to start throwing my hat instead.
Yeah, not the headsets, man.
That's why I started wearing a hat, because when I first started coaching, I never wore a hat. And then when I took the job down in Mount Pleasant, I said, I'm going to need something to throw just in case. And then I've wore a hat ever since then. I've had to throw it a few times.
well, I'm glad and I'm glad it's a hat and not a visor, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just don't look good in a visor.
Absolutely.
I can't pull it off.
Hey, what about Michigan beating Wisconsin?
I'll tell you what, it was awesome.
Big Blue.
It was awesome. Michigan's defense was phenomenal. They played outstanding for us. They got some really good ball players, up front and the defensive line, and they probably have one of the best defensive lines in the nation this year.
Well, you got that Mr. Everything athlete on the
Jabril
team.
Peppers. Yeah. He does it all. He's lined up at linebacker, at corner, at strong safety, at nickelback, punt
wide receiver,
wide returner, running back, and quarterback this year already.
Right.
He's done it all. He's just a fun player to watch. Whether you're a Michigan fan or not, he's a fun player to watch.
And I'll say this: he played more positions than Charles Woodson ever played.
He has played more. I know defensively they kind of were relating him to the Tyrann Mathieu from LSU a few years back.
Yeah.
Just that type of player he was, and offensively he played running back in high school too, and he was a 2 or 3 time state track champion and record holder in New Jersey. And he was a phenomenal athlete. So hopefully they'll do good this weekend, because they're going to New Jersey to play Rutgers. And there's like 6 guys on Michigan's team that are all pretty good ball players that are from New Jersey. So I know they're going to be anxious to go to their home state and do well.
Going back to the home state.
That's right.
Wasn't it Rutgers that Ohio State just got through whipping so bad?
Yeah, Ohio State beat them 58-0. That means we need to beat them 59-0.
There you go.
Always got a one up. Always got a one. Now we would be remiss if we did not mention the miracle pass that was caught Saturday.
Oh yeah,
in Georgia.
Yeah, it only takes 4 seconds to teach your dog to sit.
That was a good one. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I was telling Eddie before the show here that Tennessee has found a way to win all of their games, and they haven't been pretty, but at the end of the day, they haven't lost. They're finding ways to beat good teams.
But they have got to get up early.
They do. They've got to play better in the first half.
And then Butch Jones not play conservative, play Tennessee football.
Right.
And win the game outright and not have to worry about coming back. You can only come back so many times.
Right.
Well, I think
eventually your luck's going to run out.
Exactly.
For them to be successful this week against A&M, John Chavis coaching the defense there now. They're going to have to. They're going to have to start out strong.
I heard one of the Nashville Talk radio shows. They're talking about Chavis's defense down there is just awesome.
Oh yeah. They got a couple of defensive linemen that are the real deal too. So
I don't know what Les Miles was thinking when he let that man go.
No, he would have.
Well, of course, Les is not there anymore either. So there you go.
Yep. Right.
And that was the downfall of him too.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, plus too, he's running that same offense that he's ran forever. I call it the old Johnny Majors type of football. 3 plays in a cloud of dust, and people like to see this spread offense.
Yep. The thing about college football, you can go out and recruit whatever type of players. If you want to be that 3 yards in a cloud of dust type team, then you go out and you get those type of players.
Right.
Because I love that offense.
Well, anytime that you can successfully run it,
right,
on a consistent basis, and control the ball, control the clock, and score. Yeah, it's great.
You look at a lot of these great teams in college. They've got to be able to run the ball and they got to be able to throw the ball.
Right.
And most of those teams, they run that prototypical pro style offense. But they got the horses up front and the horses in the backfield to move the ball, and they have the quarterback and receivers to do the play action. If they need to get in 2-minute offense, they can.
Right.
And a lot of colleges, are very successful doing that.
Of course, I have to bring Alabama up too, but can you imagine what But can you imagine what their little freshman quarterback is going to be like as a senior?
No, I know. Well, he might not be there when he's a senior.
He may be in the NFL.
NFL, right? Yeah, I tell you what, I hate to say it, but that was a good find for Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Well,
And what about their other quarterback that started the
Bennett?
year, and then he?
Well, he comes in when they're up 45-0.
Yeah, but now
Because then he's got a lead and he's not nervous.
but now he's done quit.
Oh, has he?
Yes,
Is he
transferred.
When did he transfer to?
I don't think they've announced exactly.
I know he
yet.
announced he was going to transfer.
Yeah.
Hey, let's bring this guy over.
Come on, Drew.
Drew Williamson went through ACL surgery several weeks ago.
Just gonna stay right here.
Yeah, stay right there. Don't move. Mama has already threatened to take your crutches away from you because you've not been nice today.
He's got no comments. So. Must be a true statement.
No comment because I might get in a little bit more trouble.
Well, just, hey, ease up now.
I haven't been very nice today either. So.
Well, Drew, let me defend your mom just a little bit. She brought you into this world. She can take you out.
That's exactly right. Keep that in mind, man.
I probably thought about it a few times.
And I've
today,
used that line more than you'll ever know.
And trust me, you'll never find another love as good as your mom's.
Keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind.
How you feeling, Hoss?
I'm good. I'm doing well.
Good.
Real well. Therapy has been kicking my butt a lot, but I'm a little bit ahead of the curve right now. So
Good.
I'm
Great.
doing well.
Great.
So what do you do in therapy?
Well,
How much do you scream in therapy?
it's really not that bad. I mean, I consider myself I'm pretty pain tolerant, so I don't really consider it terrible. But I'm not really allowed to get into the hardcore therapy yet because I still can't walk. But whenever that kicks in, I heard that it's supposed to be really bad. But for right now, it's mostly about getting mobility back and flexibility in my knee.
Well, your dad, David, texted me a picture of you the day of surgery after you had it done and was at home. Mm-hmm. That's the same look that I had about 1973. So I understand, believe me. But it was under totally different circumstances.
I tell you, I don't remember anything. I had my surgery on a Monday, and from Monday till about Wednesday night, I remember people who came and saw me, but that was pretty much it. I don't remember conversations that I had. I don't remember what I ate. I don't remember anything.
Yeah, about 1973, I had a couple 3 days like that too. But that's
In '73, that's when my brother had his surgery on his knee, and of course back then it was worse surgery than it is today. But he was on that morphine drip.
Oh yeah.
In the room, and there was a little fly buzzing around, and my brother's laying there, and he opens one eye and he looks. He said, "That's the biggest darn fly I have ever seen in my life." He says, "It's that big."
At least. So what's your timetable? What are we looking at?
Well, as far as therapy goes, I should be 100% clear after, it'll be the first week of February. So I'll be just sliding in there ready for baseball. Now, I'm hoping that I can start working on some other stuff while I'm doing therapy, as far as working out upper body and everything, because I don't think I can go that long without doing something.
Right.
But, yeah, overall it's going to be about, I don't even know how many weeks, but until the first week of February is where we figured.
So we're looking like 12 weeks, 12, 13 weeks, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. Studies, how are we doing in school?
Mom's kind
Boy,
of
you should have seen Mom's look just then.
Well, there's a difference there for me. I can't get motivated. I cannot get motivated to do schoolwork for anything. I'm on the senior slide, and I'm not even halfway done with junior year yet. I'm taking pre-cal right now, which is pretty awful. With the famous Benjamin Rolling, Mr. Rolling, and, it's a lot. Honestly, being hurt kind of helped me out a little bit, just because I had more time to do homework and get caught up.
Right.
Because the amount that he assigns every night, going from football practice, getting out at about 6 o'clock, going home, eating dinner, and then I'd spend 3 to 4 hours working on just pre-cal homework, not even my other subjects that I have to take. So it's been a blessing to be hurt, but then again, I don't wish it upon anybody, and it's just rough. It's rough.
I'll tell you, Drew's really smart academically. He's a junior taking pre-cal, and pre-cal is not even a requirement to graduate for high schoolers. The majority of our students won't even take pre-cal, to get to graduation. So him doing it as a junior, it speaks volumes of Drew academically. So
Now I can say this, and had it not been for Mr. Dawson, who used to teach at Whitthorne Junior High at that time, I would have never made it through 9th grade algebra.
I know.
So mathematically, I am not the greatest guy that there ever was, with numbers.
Yeah.
You don't know your noughts and gazendas?
No, I can carry my noughts. That's not a problem. I'm a little better at it now than I used to be. But algebra, there ain't no use in the world for algebra.
It's problem solving.
Well,
Yeah, I grew up.
It's true for every subject.
I know you kind of got thrown from the get-go on algebra because they told you power is square, and we all know that power are round.
Cornbread are square. So I had that, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm just not a numbers person. So.
Yeah, math is one of those subjects that's not easy for most students. It's pretty difficult. It can get difficult. And it's like you said, when are we going to use this in the real world? I'm like, well, we're using it today.
Well,
we're going to learn how to solve a problem today.
Well, I can relate to that in a way. I had Miss Dooley
For geometry.
And I can honestly say we didn't learn very much geometry there. She taught us how to knit and how to do curve stitching and stuff like that. I mean, we made geometric figures with all this, but and we asked her, says, why are we doing this instead of the math problem? Well, I'm trying to give you something you can use every day.
Yeah, well, see, that was 2 years after I had the hardcore geometry, Miss Dooley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But with all the building and stuff that I do, that has really come in handy for that.
Oh, yeah.
So that I never thought I'd use it, but with all the construction that I do around the house,
Yeah.
I use it a lot.
Some of it you will definitely use.
Yep, that's true. Well, Drew, good to see you. Glad you're on track to get back up and going.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure, not a problem. Not a problem. Thank you.
I'm not even sure who else we have here tonight.
Not really sure. We got some sitting over there.
I guess I'll do an all-call for him, huh?
Yeah, you can do that.
Drew did it for me.
Drew did it for you. There you go. All right. He's the media. He's the media guy now.
Maybe. I don't know if we have any takers.
I don't know if we have any takers or not. They all just kind of.
I don't know. 2 of them just hopped up, coming over. Oh yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
A couple of freshmen coming over.
Couple of freshmen.
Good.
The freshmen have a big game coming up this week. Monday they play Lincoln County's.
At Lincoln County, right?
Well, it's Lincoln County's freshmen don't go to school at Lincoln County High School. They go to Lincoln County Freshman Academy. It's a separate building, a separate school. So it's to my understanding they're playing at the Freshman Academy field, which is not Lincoln County High School.
Oh, okay.
That's just an
what
FYI.
I'm saying is they're playing down there.
Yeah, they were playing down there, so everybody almost got out from having to go down there, but not.
Yeah, but we got 2 JV games. We would remind you on the 17th and the 24th that will be here.
Right.
And for anybody listening who's attending the Gridiron meeting, it will be on Tuesday, and we'll have it at the exhibit building in Maury County Park.
We'll for sure have the JV game the 24th. The 17th might be up in the air.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't talked to Independence coaches yet, but our freshmen go to Smyrna the 17th as well.
Right.
That's under contract.
Oh, okay.
And with battling some of our injuries right now and having to bring so many players up, I'm not sure if we're going to quite have all of our numbers ready.
Put your headphones on, guys.
All right, here we go. Got two freshmen. This is y'all's first time on the show, right?
Move your microphone up.
Move close to the mic.
You can move, but you're not going to. Just pull it. There you go. All right.
Got
Cool.
Josh Hand and Kate Tice on here with us tonight. Both of them are freshmen. Both, obviously first year at Columbia. Did y'all go to Yaycox or Whitthorne?
I went to Yaycox.
I went to Whitthorne.
All right. So you guys played against each other at one point. Now they're on the same team. Well, good. Josh Hand, of course, he's adopted the nickname, whether he likes it or not. We call him Han Solo now.
Han Solo.
Okay. When we first saw his last time, I was like, is it Han or is it Han? He says Han. All right, we're going to call you Han Solo. We have a choice. But he might be getting a little bit of playing time tomorrow night on the offensive and defensive line. He's worked hard this year, so I'm excited about him. Been a tough ball player. Talk to us about this week of practice.
Well, we did all right, and we had ups and downs this week. And I think it's been better as we went on during the season, because at first we didn't really have good practices.
I agree. That's a true statement. What about, are you nervous for tomorrow night? You excited?
At first, when I started playing a little bit, I was nervous, but I think I'm ready now. I'm pretty sure.
So has it helped out? Because a lot of our freshmen this year, we've incorporated them a lot more in practice. They've got to go a lot more scout team this year and played against the first offense, first defense. So you've had an opportunity to go against some pretty big guys, huh?
Yes, sir.
You think that's made you better?
Yes, sir. It's been a confident booster.
I definitely think so. Every day when you line up and you're going against Will Anderson or Isaac Marlowe or Chase Roberts or Roy A. Pierce, you have to give it your all, because if not, they're gonna pitch you in the ground.
Speaking of Will, is he okay?
Will will be out this week. He's battling a shoulder injury. I look for him to be back next week, but he will be out this week. So we'll have to move some people around up front and on defense to try to fill some of those gaps. And we're gonna miss Will this week. Will's been one of the anchors on our defense for sure. One of our best players on defense, so I'm going to hate not having him out there. Right. Take control of him this week.
Well, let me ask you guys. This is a question that for the people sitting in the stands, they don't know. Have you come across any other player across from you on the field that does a lot of trash talking?
Yes, sir.
Do they point and trash talk, or they just trash talk?
I've just had trash talk.
Oh, okay. Because we used to have a player on our team several years ago that would not only trash talk but would point and trash talk, and he meant everything he said, and he delivered. So I'm just wondering if you get any of that from the other opposing team.
I'll tell you what. We can hear them run their mouth, and we do a little bit too. I mean, I think it's part of the game. As long as it's not anything that's life-threatening or anything like that, a few of those things you gotta let go, and I'm okay with it up to an extent, as long as it doesn't get anything inappropriate or
Don't mention your mama.
Give me 15 yards, if it gives me 15 yards for trash talking, I'm not going to be happy, but as long as you can back it up,
Well, that's what Tredarius Goff got that night was the 15
right.
for that.
15 yards, and coach said, "Who's it on?" He said, "Number 30."
No, it couldn't be on him.
No,
He said, "There's no way." He said, "Never says anything." You said, "Coach."
We never heard him talk. What are you talking about?
So he's got a mouth on him out there in the field.
I tell you what, Trey D was one of those guys. When he said something, you listened.
Yeah.
Him and Shaq Mason were both leaders on the team when they played for us. Not so much vocal leaders, but when they talked, you listened.
Yeah.
I remember we played Independence 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
And we go into halftime, we're down. And Shaq says, "We ain't going to lose this game." All right. Halftime's over, let's go. And sure enough, we didn't lose. So
that was a game where a former coach that we had went over and told the officials, go over and get what's his name's autograph and let's get on with this game.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get that out of your system. Get his.
Yeah, that was a guy that was coaching for or used to be on the Titans, and he came. Well, I can't think of his name right offhand.
Dyson?
Yeah, well, it may have been Dyson. Yeah, Kevin Dyson.
Yeah.
And he went over and told the officials, go get his autograph. Let's get on with this game.
That's right.
That was funny. That was great.
We also have Kate Tice on here. Kay's not very big, but he's got a big heart, and he gives us everything he's got in practice every day.
That's all right. He's got 3 more years to get big.
He battled an injury early on. I think we broke your wrist, or
Yes, sir.
broke his wrist early on. Might have been the first week we pit pads on or something.
Yes, the first day.
I think he did in the weight room though. But
You broke him in good, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We did, but even after that, commend him. He never missed a day of practice after that, and
Cool.
he was there the entire time, and he's been working hard. So I'm excited about Cade. I'm excited about get 3 more years with him after this. So, how's your high school experience been so far?
Really good, actually.
Yeah. Have y'all? Both of y'all can answer this. What about the new building? Have y'all enjoyed being in the new building?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yes, sir.
I think the Armstrong brothers said something along the line of they were glad that it was their freshman year because everybody was just as lost as they were because everybody was trying to get adjusted to the new school. So I tell you what, though, I probably walk about 4 miles every day in the school, though, about where I have to park and where I have to go and walking back and forth. But no complaints, though. It's nice. I'm enjoying it. So I'm ready for the cafeteria to be built, though.
It's all under construction. What's up next after this? This next phase is going to be.
Well, this phase 2, they're doing the cafeteria, the main gym, and the auxiliary gym, which that's on schedule. And it's on schedule right now. I think they're actually maybe a little ahead of schedule.
Now they're putting the auxiliary gym and regular gym back to back, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir. And it's amazing because it's right there by the coach's office. So every day we get to see the development of the new building and how it's coming along. So it's kind of cool to get to watch it every day. But it should be done, end of March, somewhere around there. And then after that, they'll start tearing down the rest of the school. And phase 3 will start where they'll put the new auditorium, a new band room, and the rest of the school right there.
Now, where are you guys going to go? Where is football going to go?
That's a loaded question too right now.
Really?
Yeah, right now they're putting us in the ROTC building, but that might be. I have a few other ideas. I'm gonna run by Mr. White first. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done in that building, but we'll be somewhere. So we'll have to fight that battle when it comes, I guess.
Right.
So
Will Kate get any kind of action tomorrow night, or?
I doubt it. To be honest.
Okay.
He knows,
All right.
but we have a game coming up Monday. He should be getting some action in that.
Okay.
But I tell you what, I wish I could put his heart in half our team though. All our kids, they try really hard, but Cade, being undersized is always going to do the best he can. So
The one thing that Eddie and I are watching a lot on kickoffs now is we put Andrew Owens back there, and they are not kicking to him at all.
no, they're not, and which is good.
But I think he's dangerous.
Yeah, he can be dangerous with the balls in his hands. So, we put him back there. He does a good job back there. And a lot of teams, they do this sky kick or anything to prevent returns.
Right.
So that's why we want to put a good athlete back there that they do kick it deep. It gives us a good chance to get a good return. That's why you see a lot of these squib kicks or these little sky kicks. We do it too. A lot of times we don't want to kick it to their best athlete either. So,
I've noticed also when we kick off, our kicker winds up making a lot of the tackles.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good.
That's normally not good, but
work-
he's running downfield where normally the kicker is kind of laid back at last line of defense,
Yeah.
But he's aggressive.
He is. We adjusted some of our kickoff coverage this week, and hopefully that'll put in a position where the kicker doesn't have to make the tackle. Our kicker won't be here this week, so I think he's out of town, being fall break.
Oh boy.
But Moises Guerrero, our punter, he'll be taking on all the kicking duties this week. So, yep. You guys want to talk about practice, games, anything that catches your attention that you want to mention on the radio?
Practice is getting better.
Yeah, we are getting better. We are getting better. I mean, last week we had a good week of practice. This week was average. It wasn't awful. It wasn't great. But definitely we'll say it's better than it was the first few weeks. You know, a lot of that is just into July camp and into August and how we're going to prepare for games. I think a lot of that is just a learning curve for some of these guys.
Is it adjusting to the coaching staff as well and the change of head coach?
Yeah, I think so. With me being new and a new defense coordinator, we're all learning together. So it's just a process. Definitely thought we improved throughout the year, though. So hopefully we can, finish these last 4 games out the best we can.
Right. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, definitely.
Good deal.
Anything else, guys?
No.
Looks like you've worn him out, Coach, this week at practice.
He looks tired.
Yeah, he does.
He looks tired. I don't know why. There hasn't been school this week. I try to tell these kids, I said, hey, make sure you go home, go to bed at a decent hour, or wake up at a decent hour. Keep everything as much normal as possible.
And how well does that work?
I don't know. I tell you, I've been sleeping until 6:30, and I feel exhausted when I get up.
I wish I could do that.
So
I'm up at 3 o'clock.
Well, so we've got 2 more sitting over here ready to.
All right, guys. Well, thanks
Take
for
to the
coming
mic.
on tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Go Lions.
That's right.
And I have to apologize in advance because I come in the den last night, and my wife is watching the replay of last Friday night's game from Columbia TNTV, Channel 13, and which, by the way, this show airs prior to the playing of our home game on Channel 13.
Okay.
And I have to apologize in advance. She says, "You just didn't say anything Friday night." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You just didn't talk it up like you normally do." So she called me out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She did. So we'll be doing a much better job tomorrow night.
I must say so. Tomorrow's gonna be a little different.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot different.
It's gonna have to be.
It's gonna be like Chatty Cathy tomorrow night. Don't worry about it.
By the way, did you notice anything different?
I noticed when we walked in, a little Star Wars theme. I was like, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Well,
Did you notice a lion roar in the background?
I heard the lion roar a few times. Yeah.
Did you hear Jeopardy theme? Whenever?
I did hear Jeopardy, and almost, it's like I don't know if they call a timeout or we call a timeout. Then all of a sudden I hear that music. What's that?
No,
going
it's
on?
whenever the opposing team calls a timeout.
Whenever the opposing team calls timeout, then Jeopardy theme comes up.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, now I know. I heard it. And I was wondering, I said, well, that must be one of the new things then. But the Stormtrooper music coming, that was pretty cool.
You like that?
Yeah, I did like that.
Yeah, you'll get that again tomorrow night.
That was cool. I like that. It was pretty awesome. All right, so we got some more freshmen here. We got Blaze Johnson and Jermaine Moss.
These are names that are coming up on the roster regularly now.
Yeah. Jermaine Moss got some early time. I think the first time he saw some varsity action might have been against, was it Laverne?
Yes.
Got a couple catches in Laverne, I believe. Jermaine's one of our Culleoka kids who come from Culleoka over to Central to play ball. So, which is good. It's a lot of people might not know that in our county that a lot of our unit schools they co-op to certain schools. Kids from Culleoka come to Central, kids from Hampshire go to Mount Pleasant, and Santa Fe goes to Spring Hill, I believe.
Right.
So I believe we have 4 or 5? 5 from Culleoka this year, and I believe they're all freshmen, so which is good.
Good.
If we can get 5 freshmen a year from Culleoka, that would be tremendous. We've had some pretty solid ball players come out of Culleoka that have helped us out tremendously in the past. Chance Luna and Corey Maniscala. So I'm excited about that. Now, Blaze, where did you go? Did you go to Whitthorne or Cox?
Well, last year I was mostly in Georgia, and so I came to Whitthorne late in the year.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, good. Y'all enjoying? I guess Blaze, are you enjoying the new school this year?
It's great so far.
Yeah.
I haven't found any problems with it.
Awesome. Jermaine, we need to get you over to Columbia. Either that or you need to keep on recruiting over in Culleoka and bringing those kids with you.
Ain't that the truth?
I know. I'm telling you. So Blaze plays offensive and defensive line, and Jermaine plays wide receiver and defensive back. So, guys, just talk about your freshman experience so far with football and how it's going. I know the record hadn't been great, but if you want to talk about tomorrow night's game, or if you want to talk about Monday's game, I'm good with whatever.
Well, so far with the football experience, it's just been a whole learning event basically for us because, well, I don't know about Jermaine getting a better look on varsity, but I haven't really had that much of a look on varsity, which is understandable.
Right.
But I usually like to do as much as I can on scout team and work harder at that.
Yeah, definitely.
Does a scout team make you better?
I believe so. I mean, sometimes it's rough taking those hits from people like Isaac and Chase and all of them, but
it's only going to make them better down the road, you know.
Yeah.
They can look back and say, man, when I was a freshman, I used to have to go against these guys, and now I'm this guy going.
Then you look across the line and say, you can't hit any harder than that.
I mean, other than a couple headaches, everything's fine.
I know. Looking back when I was a freshman and playing some scout team and having to tackle some of the running backs we had two guys. Whatever it is, the fullback was like 260 pounds, and the tailback was 240. I'm thinking, goodness gracious, and taking a pounder from those guys. But it made me a better player along the way. So
It taught you to go low, didn't it?
you're right about that. Don't hit those guys up high. That's for sure. So has it been different this year football as far as learning the game? And you know, usually when you make a jump from Little League to or middle school ball, there's a big learning curve, learning a lot more. And then making the jump from middle school ball to high school, how has that been as far as the learning the game of football? Has it been different?
Yeah, it's been very different.
Is it more complex?
Yeah, more understanding, and you got to learn more complicated too.
So yeah, and a lot of people might not know this, you know. Obviously, you know, middle school staffs are always understaffed. You know, there's always just 2, 3, 4 coaches, 5 or 6 if you're really lucky.
Yeah. One of which may know something about football.
You're right. And you know, same thing with Little League. You know, you might only have 2 or 3 coaches on your team, but when we get to high school, you know, we're fortunate to where when we break up in practice, all right, this coach is taking this group of players. You know, I'm taking the linebackers, and we're all working individual drills, individual skill sets for each position. So, you know, Jermaine's going to spend some time with Coach Binkley at the wide receivers and learning just specific things, and, you know, not just the plays, but also technique and how we want to block and how we want to run routes and how we're supposed to use our hands. You know, Blaze is working with Coach Davis and Coach Lauer on the offensive line, learning, you know, the plays and the steps and stance, and then is with Coach Sykes and Coach Loggers learning how we want to teach the technique on D-line. So definitely is a lot more learning to do when you get to high school because, you know, it gets more competitive. And, you know, the speed of the game gets faster. So we do the best we can to try to prepare these guys to learn. And, you know, we know they're going to make mistakes early on, but if we can limit those mistakes as they get older, you know, they'll get a chance to play some varsity ball.
Now, guys, when your number got called by Coach to go in, what did you say?
Well, that hasn't quite happened for me yet.
Hadn't happened for Blaze yet.
Oh, it hadn't happened.
Not happened for Blaze yet.
Okay.
I was excited, but also nervous at the same time.
You know, but you know,
There's a little voice in the back of your head going, "Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up."
Yeah, but after a while, like I just like kicked that voice out the way and just played.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to do. I mean, you understand you're gonna make mistakes. Even seniors make mistakes.
Oh yeah.
As long as you go full out effort and you're in the game and in practice, and you know, good things are gonna happen. You know, as a receiver, you're gonna drop some passes here and there, and just do the best you can to not do that. But you know, and same thing, Blaze. If you're gonna miss a block here,
We'll try to get you some stickum.
That's right. We'll keep a dose on the sideline there.
What do I get then?
We'll put some white tape on your gloves.
Lyman don't get that. Lyman don't get stickled.
No, they're battling close quarters as it is.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right. Hand-to-hand combat.
Don't need any stickle where you stick to the guy. You might get a penalty that way.
Yeah. Oh, does that fall under holding?
Yeah.
No, lather me down with grease and I'll play defensive line.
There you go.
There you go.
That'll work.
I'm excited about both these young guys. good ball players that give great effort. So, continue to work hard and have a good off-season training and stuff, and hopefully they'll be moving up.
Good deal.
All right.
Anything else you guys want to say?
Keep recruiting in Culleoka.
That's right, for sure. Thank you, guys.
I just want to say shout out to Coach LaFond.
Shout out to Coach LaFond. Okay.
How much did he pay you for that?
Must have paid him a good amount.
He hadn't yet.
No, we like Coach LaFond.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good
for
coach.
sure. That's right.
And rugby's coming up, so we got to get him over here at some point to talk about rugby.
I know we do. Definitely. His time's running out.
Because I think I may be doing PA for rugby this year.
Maybe you have to learn all the rugby lingo.
I have no idea.
You have to talk to Coach Sykes. Coach Sykes knows a little bit.
Oh, does he?
He does.
Okay.
He can help you out in that area.
Good deal.
I don't know a thing about it.
I have no clue.
I'll tell you what.
Just know the term scrum.
Scrum, I know.
That's what I call Cade Tice.
Oh, man. Going at each other right here. Man. All right,
Let's
guys,
get these other two gentlemen in here, and we'll wrap this thing up for tonight. Once again, we do appreciate Glenn and Kathy Truelove for hosting us every Thursday night for True Love's Pizza and Grits Thursday night preview. Presentation on Columbia TNTV, Channel 13. And on the weeks that we don't have a home game, then they still broadcast this True Love's Pizza and Grits broadcast about, I think, 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then throughout the week as well as part of their programming. Thanks to Ross Janes, who's the production manager for the broadband in that area.
Yep.
Who happens to be my son.
That's right.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. Interesting conversation we had today with the young lady Stephanie. Her husband works for Mount Pleasant Fire Department. Stephanie Kelly. That her student teaching was at Randolph Howell, and she met Summer, your wife.
Yeah.
And come to find out, I said, well, he's a big Michigan fan. She says, you're kidding. I said, no, I'm not. And she is too. She's the second biggest Michigan fan.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Michigan fans down here, and probably due to General Motors being down here, but it's always good to hear about more Michigan fans out there.
Where did you come up to be a Michigan fan?
I was born in Michigan.
Oh, were you?
I was born. I'm part of the General Motors product. We moved down here in '89 when I was 4. So I've spent my entire life down here essentially, and I grew up in this county my entire life. But just a great fan of many teams, but Michigan's always been my best, just because great tradition. I love it. Never been to a game there though yet.
Really?
Never had a chance to go there, and I've been.
Do we need to get up a collection to send you?
Might have to. I've been to a football camp there.
Get him a GoFundMe account.
That's exactly right.
I'll tell you what. One of the hardest football camps I went to was the Michigan football camp going into my senior year. It was a week long, which was a little bit longer than the normal camps at that time. And I'll tell you what, the quarterbacks, because I was a quarterback in high school, we had to walk like 3 miles to practice every day. And it was 3-day practices. And everybody was dismissed to go to lunch except for the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks had to go to the film room for an extra hour. And we had to watch film. And by the time we were walking to lunch, people were already headed back to the second practice. So we went there at 8, ran back to the next practice. Like, goodness gracious. But they did take us to the stadium. And that was back when they had the natural grass and before they had the press box. And it was an awesome experience. But I told my wife yesterday, as a matter of fact, I said, I don't care. I said, next few years, I don't care how much the ticket costs. I'm going to a game. And she said, no, you're not. No. I say that because she went to a Carrie Underwood concert not too long ago. And
there you go.
She already talked about going to see Tim McGraw and Faith Hill next year when they come into town. So.
Well, they were at the Lyman the other night, by the way.
If she gets to do that, you deserve to get to go.
That's what I told her.
I mean, even though I'm not a Michigan fan, but
I'll tell you what, I've been to some Tennessee games. I've been to 3 Tennessee games.
I know that hurt.
And I love Tennessee though, but there's an unbelievable atmosphere in Knoxville, and it's you really can't beat it in the country as
But
far
can
as.
you imagine 102 booing you as you're going off the field for that Florida game?
Well, I was there when the Tennessee-Alabama game in Fulmer's last year, and they booed him, and I was like, oh man, I felt bad for him because looking back in his career, it was a great career.
He was.
Everybody always struggles there at the end, and I hated to see him getting booed. So I heard what 100,000 fans
and he could have been very ill with everything that happened around what happened to him.
Right.
But he took the high road.
He did.
And came back to the university.
He did. I commend him for that. So.
And then we suffered through Kiffin.
Yep. Same time I was suffering through Rich Rodriguez. Hey, if you look at the history of Michigan and Tennessee, they're good together and they're bad together. That's the way it's been, it seems like, the last 20 years. So,
if you in this game long enough, you're going to have good years and you're going to have bad years.
You're right.
Hopefully and you're going to have a few mediocre years.
You're right. Exactly right. That's exactly right. Tomorrow night, Columbia Lions take on the Lincoln County Falcons at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. The tailgating starts at 5:15, Lion Walk at 5:30.
That's it.
And we invite everybody to come on out and go Lions.
That's right.
We're out of here for this evening. Thank you.